So I don't even know in a week how often my wife sends me to the grocery store, but it's a lot. And so today we're going to upgrade the Jeep's grocery getter capabilities. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very nice storage shelf from Vector Offroad. This is their GGB, which stands for Grocery Getter Basket. I love it. I think it's a clever name. But honestly, guys, this is a very functional utility shelf that's going to really help me out in the back of my Jeep with my storage. You know, I've got my 12-volt cooler back there. I've got all my recovery gear. I've got my tools, just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. And I just don't have a lot of extra storage back there. So having this shelf is going to be very helpful. Now, I do have a power tank back there, and I've got my fire extinguisher, which are mounted on the roll bars. So I'm going to have to relocate those, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I got plenty of storage here that I can use. Plus I can mount some stuff other places. But man, just not having to cram things down in the back of my Jeep and be able to get a little more organized back there is going to be really nice. Now, this shelf, the Vector Offroad GGB, this is for the 2007 to 2018 JKU, and it will only work with a hard top or if you're running no top, but it won't work with soft top. Sorry, guys. It weighs just about 29 pounds, but it's got a 230 pound capacity, which is really nice. The internal dimensions of the platform measures 24 by just under 44 inches. So you've got a nice size platform here to put a lot of stuff on. It does have a very nice kind of crinkled powder coat on it, and then all the hardware and then the bar around the edges is more like a grayish powder coating, which is really nice. This is going to match the inside of the Jeep really well. It does come with all kinds of hardware, so you've got some nice sturdy clamps that are going to mount right around the roll bar, and then you've got the longer bars here which are going to attach to the clamp to the side of the shelving. Now, it's really nice because the shelving has these 3 holes on the side, which gives you a little bit of adjustability. It says you can clear up to 24.5 inches, but if you want to raise it down or up, you have a little bit of options here, which I really like. Plus, they attach with wing nuts, which means if you want to remove this, you know, because you're putting something very large or very tall in the back of your Jeep, you can. You can just spin those wing nuts off and pull the shelf out, which is really nice. We're not doing something that's permanent here. I really like that feature. Now, the storage shelf has an open face to it, which means you're not having to reach up and over stuff. You can just get right in there to what you need, but it does have nice sides to it, so you're not gonna throw things all over the place, and you've got plenty of lashing points. You've got a couple here on the sides, plus you can reach around the bars and strap stuff down really well if you need to. Not a problem, I think, with securing stuff down on this. I think it's gonna work really nice. You've got a whole bag of bolts here to mount everything. And the great thing is that Vector Offroad makes these right here in the U.S. So I think this is a great product. I think this is going to be perfect. Let's show you how easy this is to just bolt it right on. Now, before I mount the shelf in here, I want to go ahead and make some room and clear things out. But let me just take a minute because I get questions about stuff back here all the time. So this is a Coleman 12-volt chiller. It's not a refrigerator. It just runs off a little cigarette lighter. It's a good little day use thing. I've been using it now for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. I am going to get a refrigerator back here. This is great for, you know, just going out and hitting the trail, but it's not good for long-term use. I'm actually going to do a full-blown review on this here in the future. Got all my tools back here, big old tool bag. And then these rigid boxes have all my recovery gear. I've got all kinds of, you know, hoses for airing up. I got all my stuff for airing down. I've got lights. These are a great little box, but I really want to build like a 2-drawer system in here. I just think that will be so much more organized. This is a good sturdy box, but and they're clunky and they're hard to get to. And then since the Vector system is going to be mounted to the roll bars, I've got to take off my power tank. I've got to take off my fire extinguisher, and then I'm not going to be able to access my first aid kit anymore, and you know how important that is to me, guys. So I'm going to mount this on the back of the driver's seat headrest, just so I can have that easier access here in the future. So let me get these out, and then we will get that shelf installed. All right, now that we're ready to install, now we're going to be actually installing the clamps directly to the roll bar, not over the fabric here. So there's a little pocket up here, and just pull the zipper down, and we just need to get access to it, because what you can see is there's this little Velcro pocket right here, and that's actually where the clamp is going to sit, and this will get all zipped back up, and then our mounts will be sitting right outside of this pocket, which is really nice. Okay, now we got to do some measurements here. All right, now we're going to take a quick measurement for the clamp that's going to go on the roll bar. And here is where the seat belt attaches through, and so here's this little bung on the back side, and we want to measure from the center of that hole down to 4.5 inches. And that's where the top of our clamp will sit right there. All right, I've laid out all the bolts just so I have an idea of what goes where, but it's important to note that there is a passenger side and a driver's side mount. And I am going to use anti-seize on all the bolts just to keep them from seizing up. But one thing I really like is Vector Offroad supplied one extra of each bolt. Very nice. I love that little detail. All right, next we're just going to loosely put the clamps on here. And you want the top of the clamp right at your 4.5 inch mark that we measured earlier. And I did already put some anti-seize on here. Once you got these snug, you're going to want to have this flat surface facing out, because that's the part that's going to come through the Velcro hole right there. All right, with the roll bar bracket on there, we can go ahead and zip this up. Now we have access to that. Then we're going to put the mount onto the clamp. And there are 4 10mm bolts. You don't want to tighten one of these down until you get them all in there first. You don't want to cross thread anything. So just kind of get them all in there. Make sure they're threading in okay. And fabric in the back. Yeah. Got the driver's side mount in, and we've got the passenger side mount in. Now we just got to throw the shelf up on there. All right, now mounting this shelf would be a lot easier with a second set of hands. And I'm home all by myself, so I don't have anybody to help me. But I did find my friend Mr. Bungee Cord, and he offered to help. So I think what I'm going to do is throw this right over the roll bar here. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, this other side up. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Mr. Bungee. Should have had the bolt ready to go. Okay. Okay, that worked all right. All right, we've got her mounted, and it took a little bit of motivation, but that's just because it was me, myself, and I, and the bungee cord. Having a second set of hands would be really helpful, and lo and behold, 5 minutes after I got this mounted, my son walked home, but that's all right. Look, we've got the 3 bolts on the bottom, and there are wing nuts on the opposite side, and that's on both sides. And you can see that there are 3 bolt holes, and we are on the bottom bolt hole, which gives us the highest that the shelf will sit. Now, if we want to drop it down a notch or 2, we can do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw everything back in the Jeep and just see how high it sits. Maybe we'll bring it down a little bit. I'll tell you what, guys, I love having this extra storage space. This is a really, really nice. Now, the CO2 bottle I've just got kind of laying up here. I'm going to use the existing CO2 bottle clamp and actually bolt it directly to the base of the shelf. But man, I'm really happy. This shelf is so sturdy. I mean, look, I'm shaking the whole Jeep with it. This thing is not going anywhere. Rock solid. Great product here. Now, the height on it, I do still have it all the way up, and I'm going to leave it like that for now. I would like to drop it down a little bit lower, but here's the issue. My cooler, the door opens like this, right? And so I need to be able to get at my food and to my drinks, and I don't want to have to pull the cooler all the way out, and that's what would happen if I drop this down a couple more inches. Now, when I upgrade to a refrigerator, that won't be such a big deal because the refrigerator will be on a slider, so I can bring it out, open it up, and this can sit a little lower. But for now, man, I'm really happy. This is perfect. So look, guys, I think this is a great upgrade that you should definitely check out. Please visit Vector Offroad and go check out the GGB, the grocery getter basket. I will leave a link in the description. And I also want to let you guys know that I will be at Overland Expo West 2018 this year. I'm really excited to get out there. If you're going to be in Flagstaff, Arizona, please look for me. It would be great to get an opportunity to shake your hand and thank you for all the support. And look, if you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Thanks for watching.